You're watching Beautiful Angel Blossom Channel 3.
A weather video by Angel. Video starts now.
This storm for you. Let's see, I believe our latest report on that one is that we had, yes, moving northeast at 55 miles per hour. So this is our storm that we're concerned about, that we just saw damage likely being produced from, moving to the northeast at 55. So if it continues on that path at that speed, so Grand Tower is going to be about a 12:08 arrival time, so that gives us about 15 minutes. Pomona at 12:17, and then Carbondale at around 12:26. So we are about 30 minutes away from what could be a rotating storm moving over the Carbondale and Murfreesboro area. This is probably our most well-defined hook echo right here. You can see this storm, core of the storm is right here, tops of the storm blowing off, and then you've got our hook echo right here where you've got rotation. It's crossing the Mississippi River at the moment, moving off to the northeast at 55 miles per hour. So if you're watching from Carbondale and Murfreesboro, you're next in line with this storm. In Gorham, pretty much in the path right here, 12:11. Carbondale at 12:26. Estimated arrival time, Heron at 12:39. West Frankfort at 12:48. And Thompsonville at 12:58. So if you're watching here in Jackson County, Murfreesboro and Carbondale, you guys are in line for this storm, and this is a storm that did produce some damage less than a half an hour ago back in parts of Bollinger County.
Normally we would just have 1 or 2, Trent, but now we've got 7 or 8, and it's just an incredible night of severe weather.
Yeah, and this is kind of how we sort of anticipated things playing out. We did mention earlier on today that we weren't totally sure whether we would have more of a line of storms or if we would have supercells, and so far we've had, at any given point about 2 to 4 different supercell storms that we've been tracking throughout the course of the night. So here's the update on our newest tornado warning. The storm that is now really to the north of Grand Tower, at least the rotation is north of Grand Tower. And as we turn back over to our regular reflectivity, I'm going to zoom this out and put this into motion so that we can kind of get a better handle on kind of the storm trends over the last hour or so. And then we've got a new tornado warning to the south that we need to get you the information on. So let's go and loop this here, and I want to kind of check this out because we're starting to see, about an hour ago, these storms were all really isolated, and now we're starting to see a little bit more of these storms kind of interacting with each other and becoming a bit more of a line segment. And so that makes it a little tougher to pick out the tornadoes sometimes. They get a little rain wrapped. There's little small spin ups that go on inside of these line segments, but it may be where we're transitioning to more of a straight line wind threat as these storms move forward in time. Back in and examine our storms off to the north, make sure we're not missing any rotation that may have developed within these. And you can see it's a little bit more of a messy presentation on radar, so we're not seeing the well-defined areas of rotation with those classic supercells that we had a little while ago, at least for the majority of this line of storms. Now look here. What do you think about that, Mark, off to the north of Carbondale?
What's that? I'm sorry.
Our storm here between Carbondale and West Frankfort, still a little bit of a hook, maybe some embedded rotation there.
Yeah, and these storms like this, they go through their cycles, and I can assure you that it doesn't take long for them to wrap up very quickly because that updraft just starts spinning so fast. But one thing I think, Trent, is we talked about this, you and I both did in the past couple of days, of how strong the winds are, and that makes such a difference in a line of storms like this and these individual cells. But yeah, I'm definitely seeing a little bit of a hook near Carbondale, but fortunately it looks like that is becoming more of a linear effect. But either way, now, well, that latest scan right there shows west of West Frankfort. That's a pretty decent inflow and pretty solid area that may be rotating.
Look at all the dust.